Hi everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome you all on my YouTube channel. The main motive of this channel is to provide knowledge of chemistry to different aspirants of either they are preparing for UGC NET examination, CSIR NET examination, GATE, JAM. In addition to this, the video will help NEET students, JE students, because ultimately it is related, the content is related to organic chemistry, and they will help, the material will help somewhere to solve the questions in different competitive examination. All right, so I am already posting a lot of videos. 7 videos already I have posted, which is based upon different reagents which are used for some particular synthetic transformation. Today we are going to discuss an important reagent that is called NBS, N-bromosuccinimide, and this is a common reagent used for the allylic bromination purpose. So this is the most important application of this NBS. Of course, there are two other application like alpha halogenation of carbonyl compound and addition reaction of alkene can be carried out using this NBS. So we'll talk about the reagent in detail. But before moving, I would like to give a brief information about myself, because I worked as a assistant analytical chemist in a pharma industry, and I have some sort of experience of pharma industry, how things are working there. And then I have cleared UGC NET examination, earned my doctorate from Department of Chemistry, IIT Indore. I was part of ISR Mohali. Then I served two NITs. All right. So based upon my experience on industry and academia, I am trying to prepare lecture which may help students to apply the concept of organic chemistry, particularly for solving problem, for understanding the concept related to some particular topic. All right. So let's start our next reagent, which is N-bromosuccinimide. So as far as this reagent is concerned, so this is a very convenient source of bromine, and this can be helpful for some particular radical substitution reaction or even electrophilic addition reaction, depending upon the condition of reaction. All right. So as far as the preparation of this reagent is concerned, so we can prepare this reagent. This is NBS. This is the structure of N-bromosuccinimide. And once we are treating this succinimide with bromine in the presence of base, then it can be easily prepared. So that is well understood. All right. The physical appearance of this particular compound is colorless solid, and that can be recrystallized from hot water. All right. So this is actually easier and safer to handle. So if we have to carry out the bromination reaction, then we know that we can also use bromine for the purpose. But once we are doing bromination with NBS, then it is quite safer and easier to handle. And that's why this reagent is useful. All right. So this is the important part of any reagent. Like we know that whenever we are talking about any reagent, then we should know the application, what are the main application of that reagent. So for NVS, we have three application. First one is the most important and most common, that is allylic and benzylic bromination. Means bromination at allylic position or at benzylic position. Then we have alpha bromination of carbonyl compound. Means alpha bromination, if we see the structure of any carbonyl compound, like this is acetone, suppose this is CH3 COCH3, then we know that with reference to this functionality carbonyl, the carbon which is directly attached is called alpha carbon. So this carbon can be brominated using this NBS reagent. And the last application which is seen is addition reaction of alkene. To be more specific, addition reaction of alkene using this reagent. So then we can also obtain either trans dibromo compound, or if we are doing addition reaction in the presence of water, then we can add OH and Br at the side by side position of alkene. All right. So let's discuss first one, which is allylic and benzylic bromination. So here you can see that this is a alkene bond, and this one is, allylic position. So these two are the allylic position. So once we are treating these kinds of alkene with NBS in the CCl4 or aprotic solvent, then allylic position can be brominated. So here bromination will take place. And why particular this position can be uh, brominated? Because of the stabilization of radicals which is formed as an intermediate. So secondary radical here, this is primary radical. So secondary radical is more stable, which will give rise to this intermediate, and then this can be brominated. All right. So since this reaction is, carried out, the intermediate of this reaction is bromide radical, bromine radical actually. So this reaction is also initiated by light or peroxides. So this will help to generate peroxides, means bromine radical, and then that bromine radical will further participate in the reaction. This is also called Wolff-Ziegler bromination reaction. So this is also you can remember. All right. So other example which you can see is that, see, this is our alkene cyclohexene, and we are adding NBS in the CCl4 solvent. Then allylic bromination can be takes place. So this is the allylic position, allylic carbon. Then this is the benzylic position. We know that this position is called benzylic, directly attached with the benzene ring. So if we are adding NBS in the CCl4, then we can have benzylic brominated compound. All right. Several other examples, just for your information, that if we have this ring having alkyl chain, then the bromination will exclusively takes place at benzylic position. Similarly here, it will take place on benzylic position. Here it will take place on this carbon. So this is well understood, that what is the exact role of bromine once the substrate have allylic or benzylic position which is available for substitution, means there must be some hydrogens which is attached. All right. So as far as the mechanism is concerned, there are several key points which we have to remember, that this reaction involves a free radical process. All right, then by free radical process, the Br radical is generated, and this Br radical further participate in reaction. All right. So if you want to see this mechanism, then this is your NBS and bromosuccinimide. So in the presence of light, or heat, this Br radical can be generated. Once this radical is generated, this radical generates radical. So it can abstract this hydrogen which is here. So by this free radical homolytic fission, this H radical will be formed, and this H radical will find combined with Br radical, give rise to HBr and generation of this species. Again, once this HBr is generated, this HBr will bind with this NBS and it will generate Br2. So that is interesting. And this Br2 is actually participating. This Br2 is means after this homolytic cleavage of this Br bond, we can understand, like we have this Br and we have this Br bond, and it will cleave, the bond will cleave homolytically, and this Br will added on this allylic position. So this is the mechanism that is easily understood. All right. So if there is even some complicated example that can be asked in the examination, then also you can follow the concept, and then you can easily able to apply the use of this reagent NBS. So here you see this this is the double bond. This position is allylic position, and even this position is allylic position. But since there is no hydrogen, this carbon is saturated, but here we have hydrogen. So allylic position, allylic bromination can be carried out using NBS at this position exclusively. So there are some importance which we have to remember. Then the second application of this NBS is the bromination, especially alpha bromination of carbonyl derivatives. So like I have mentioned, this is the functionality, and with reference to this functionality, this position is alpha carbon and this position is called alpha carbon. So if we are adding NBS, then this alpha bromination can be carried out. And why? Because we know that ketone is in equilibrium with the enolic form. So we have keto-enol tautomerism. We know that hydrogen is there. So suppose I'm representing one hydrogen here. So this bond moves here and this hydrogen moves here. So you can draw the another structure of this compound, which is you can represent the enolic form, because keto-enol tautomerism, we already know this concept. So here we have double bond and here we have OH. So this also exists in these two forms. And of course, the equilibrium lies well towards this keto form because keto form is thermodynamically more stable. So we are not going to discuss this part today, but that is understood that whenever keto form is there and they have alpha hydrogen in this keto, then that molecule can undergo tautomerization to giving rise to enolic form. All right. So similarly, if we have some compound having alpha hydrogen, we are using NBS in the presence of para-toluene sulfonic acid, then we can get this alpha brominated carbonyl compound. And the mechanism is very easy because once we are treating this para-toluene sulfonic acid, then this NBS will be protonated using this acid, and then ultimately it will give rise to Br plus electrophile. And then since we have this keto compound, generally it is represented in this form. Of course, that is understood that here it will be pH. If you ask me for particular this example, then here you can write this pH. You can write it. Then since it is enolic, then this double bond, this OH bond will move here and this bond will attack on this bromine. So that will give rise to this species. And further this will be deprotonated and our alpha halogenated derivative will be formed. All right. So now we are coming to our next part, which is third application of NBS, that is addition reaction. And as I have mentioned that whenever an alkene is there and we are treating with NBS, then it can give rise to trans 1,2-dibromocyclohexane. Or if we are treating with NBS and excess water, then it can give rise to bromohydride. And here bromine and OH groups are there in the trans orientation. So these examples are also interesting. And how it is happening, because we know that alkene has a pi bond, this is cyclohexene, then this will react with the bromine NBS, it will attack on the NBS bromine, giving rise to this brominium ion. And once it is formed, then second Br minus may attack here, then ring may opens in this fashion. So that's why and the orientation of also this particular product is trans orientation, because one side of bromine is already occupied. So this coming next bromide will attack from the opposite face of this particular species. So it will give rise to trans 1,2-dibromide species. So that is understood. All right. So the second example, when we are treating this NBS with water, then in that case, what will happen? The first step is of course attack of this alkene on this bromine, giving rise to bromonium ion. So this will be the first step. And once we are treating with water, then that is understood that this water will attack from the opposite face of this bromonium ion, and it will open the ring. So we will get this trans compound, trans product, it will form. All right, how it is formed? Because once it is bromonium ion, we know, then it will attack from the opposite face. This is just for your understanding, it is shown here. And then we know that this is minus is here. So this N minus will abstract this hydrogen, so generating this trans product. If you want to study more about this particular mechanism, then you can also follow this link. So this is there. All right. So in today's lesson, we have discussed the general characteristics of this NBS and how we can prepare this N-bromosuccinimide. And then we have talked about the application part of this reagent, which is most important. And we know that what are the importance of this reagent. We can do allylic and benzylic bromination. We can prepare alpha halogenated carbon compound, and even we can do addition reaction of alkenes, and depending upon the condition we can have either trans bromo or hydroxy and bromine that can be there in the trans orientation on the alkene carbons. So these are the three applications which you can understand. So this is it from today's lesson. We'll talk about lead tetrastate in the next lesson. Thank you.